I never imagined waking up to 3 bulldozers blocking my driveway, with Karen Mitchell, the HOA president, smirking nearby. They had no clue who they were dealing with, or that I owned the rights to the land beneath their feet. What would you do if you discovered your HOA was not only harassing you illegally but stealing thousands from your neighbors? This is the story of how one morning changed everything. The sun warmed my back as I knelt in the dirt, planting zucchini seedlings along my driveway. After 15 years grinding 80-hour weeks at my law firm, I'd found solace in gardening. The soil between my fingers grounded me. "Excuse me, what do you think you're doing?" Karen's voice cut through the quiet. She stood at my property line, arms crossed, her designer jacket pristine, her blonde bob unmoving. "Morning, Karen," I said, wiping my hands on my apron. "Just expanding my garden." Her eyes narrowed at the neat rows of raised beds. "This is unacceptable, Michael. Front yards in Oakwood Hills must have approved landscaping. Vegetables belong in the back, hidden." I stood, brushing dirt off my jeans. "Karen, my deed predates the HOA by 30 years. I have grandfathered exemptions." "That's not how it works," she snapped, snapping photos with her phone. "I'm documenting this violation. Expect a hearing notice." 2 neighbors walking their dogs slowed to watch. "I've read the HOA agreement," I said calmly. "I have paperwork proving my exemptions. Want to see it?" "Save it for the hearing," she said, waving dismissively. "Remove this mess, or fines start tomorrow." That evening, an orange violation notice was taped to my door, $50 daily fines for unapproved agricultural activity. The hearing was set for next week. I filed it in my HOA nonsense folder, but this felt personal. My phone rang. It was Margaret Lee, the elderly widow down the street. "Michael, I saw Karen today," she whispered. "She fined the Wilsons $500 because their son's wheelchair ramp didn't match the aesthetic. They couldn't fight it." My blood boiled. "That's not legal." "It's not," Margaret said. "But Karen's bolder since her friend David joined as HOA lawyer." Sleep eluded me. The next morning, I dug into my family's history. We'd owned this land before selling to developers in the 1970s, retaining certain rights. I was rummaging through attic boxes when I heard engines, loud ones. Peering out my window, I froze. 3 bulldozers blocked my driveway, trapping my car. Karen stood beside them in a crisp blazer, next to a man in a tailored suit. Neighbors gathered, whispering. My heart raced as I grabbed my phone and HOA files. Karen had just made a colossal mistake. On my porch, Karen's smile was venomous. "Michael Carter, the board held an emergency meeting. Your violations are a public nuisance. Immediate action is authorized." The man stepped forward. "David Brooks, Oakwood Hills HOA Counsel. These unauthorized structures," he gestured at my garden, "will be removed under Section 8.3 of the bylaws." Neighbors gasped. Mrs. Kim covered her mouth. Kids on bikes stared. I descended my steps, mind racing. "Mr. Brooks, you're on shaky legal ground. Those are temporary beds, and you're about to make a costly error." David's smile wavered. Karen glowed with authority. "Agree to remove these eyesores, pay the $300 fines, and we'll move on." The bulldozers revved. I raised my phone. "I'm recording, and I've texted my associate. You should know something about this property." Karen rolled her eyes. Then, a black SUV pulled up. Sheriff Thompson stepped out, followed by County Clerk Ms. Harper, carrying property maps. Karen's confidence cracked. "What's this?" she demanded. "We don't need police for an HOA matter." I smiled. "Karen, you don't realize whose driveway you've blocked, or whose land those bulldozers are on." Ms. Harper spread maps on the sheriff's hood. Neighbors edged closer. "These 1973 records show the Carter family's sale to developers," she said. "They retained mineral rights for the 200-acre development, utility easements, and exemptions from future HOAs for 5 family properties, including Michael's. David frantically searched his briefcase. Impossible! The HOA covenant applies to all properties. Ms. Harper smiled. Your covenant was formed in 1995. These agreements predate it. They're legally binding. Karen's face reddened. Even if Michael's exempt, he can't violate community standards. Actually, Sheriff Thompson said, county law allows him to garden as he pleases. The crowd grew. Mr. Evans live-streamed. Karen ordered the Bulldozers to proceed. The lead operator refused. Not without a court order. I stepped closer. Those bulldozers are on my easement. That's trespassing. With intent to damage my property, this could get ugly. David whispered urgently to Karen. Her eyes widened. Sheriff, I'd like to file a report for attempted property damage and trespassing, I said. We'll handle it, Thompson replied. This is outrageous, Karen exploded. You can't claim special privileges. It's not sudden, came a frail voice. Margaret Lee hobbled forward. The old board respected the exemptions. You ignored them. Karen glared. Stay out, Margaret. Your holiday lights violation hearing is next week. Neighbors gasped at the threat to the beloved 82-year-old. Margaret smiled. I recall your husband's shed built over the Parker's line, dismissed by David's discretion. The crowd murmured. David checked his watch. Karen, we need a private hearing, he urged. No hearing, I said. My property's exempt. Move those bulldozers, or I'll add charges. Sheriff Thompson stepped in. Move the equipment. Michael, we'll file your report. Karen's control slipped. This isn't over, she hissed. Margaret touched my arm. Meet me tonight. Bring your documents. Karen's hiding more. As Karen and David fled, fear flashed in their eyes. The last bulldozer rumbled away, leaving my plants intact. Sheriff Thompson approached. File now? Absolutely. And contact the county prosecutor. This is bigger than trespassing. Margaret whispered. 7 o'clock. Bring a calculator. Neighbors examined my garden, now a symbol of defiance. I just wanted to grow zucchini. Now, I was unraveling a scandal. That evening, Margaret handed me a folder. Bank statements revealed the HOA collected $300 monthly from each house for a pool renovation that never happened. $300,000 vanished into Williams Brooks Consulting, owned by Karen and David. They'd also planned to force 5 elderly homeowners, including Margaret, to sell cheap, flipping the homes for profit. This is fraud, I said, stunned. My husband was an accountant, Margaret explained. When Karen fined me for my lights, I dug into the HOA's public records. That night, I called an emergency meeting. The clubhouse overflowed. I projected the evidence. Karen and David stole $300,000 meant for our pool, roads, and playground. Gasps erupted. When I revealed their scheme against elderly neighbors, shouts filled the room. Where are they? Someone yelled. They were invited but didn't show, I said. Mr. Evans, a retired judge, stood. I move to dissolve the board and elect interim leaders. The vote was unanimous, 76 hands. My phone buzzed. Karen. I stepped outside. You've ruined everything, she spat. You think you've won because your family owns this dirt? I'll take more than your garden. The line went dead. Back inside, committees formed to audit finances and rewrite rules. Then, a text from an unknown number. Check your cameras. My security feed showed Karen and David ripping up my garden at 3 a.m. Karen smirked at the camera, slashing her throat. Another text. This is just the beginning. Sheriff Thompson dispatched a patrol. Trespassing, vandalism, maybe more, he said. Be careful, Michael. Margaret squeezed my hand. You're not alone. Another text arrived with a photo of my exemption documents captioned, "Originals burn easily." At dawn, I found my kitchen window smashed, my garden obliterated. By noon, news vans swarmed. "Is it true the HOA president vandalized your property after you exposed her theft?" a reporter asked. 30 neighbors arrived with plants and shovels. "Karen fined me $500 for my birdhouse," Mrs. Evans said. "We're with you." Sheriff Thompson brought news. Karen and David were arrested. The county confirmed $300,000 missing. That day, we voted to replace the HOA with a friendly neighbors group, with fair rules. 2 months later, we held a block party in Karen's former yard. Her house sold after her conviction. The new owners loved our community garden. Margaret handed me a zucchini. "You changed everything." "I just wanted to garden in peace," I smiled. What do you think? Was Karen's downfall justified, or did I push too far? Share your thoughts in the comments, especially about power abuses in communities like this. Hit that like button and subscribe for more stories of justice and defiance. Let's keep the conversation going.